YouTube? Smooth the Trucker here. Hey, it is Monday and it has officially been 1 month driving solo here for May Trucking over the road. I wanted to update you guys on how this last month has been. But first, let me just go ahead and tell you how these last couple days have been since I last did this video. Basically, I've had a lot of Costco loads. I had a load this last weekend. It was yesterday. I had to deliver to 3 different Costco's. So it had 2 stops and a consignee. So, you know, I went through San Francisco, and then I had to go into Santa Rosa, and then we went to Ukiah Costco. So 3 different stops. So got that one done yesterday. I was a little bit nervous going to all 3 of those different Costco's, but it wasn't that bad. I think the more I'm doing this, the more comfortable I'm getting, and you guys will too. The more comfortable, the more loads you get, the more shippers and consignees you go to. Eventually, you learn, you know, where to turn into, where not to turn into. It helps looking up the satellite view on Google Maps before you go in, just so you can kind of see, kind of open it up and look where would be the best place to pull in, because you're going to need to know that. If you don't do that now, when you start driving, you're going to find out the hard way that it pays off to do your homework before you get in those situations. But yeah, it's officially been 1 month driving solo. This last load. Right now I'm getting low on my hours. Today I called my driver manager because I wasn't able to deliver the load. Well, I had the load all the way up to Portland. I was supposed to drop it off, but I only had 5 hours left on my 70. So basically it was the 8th day. So I get recaps coming back tomorrow, but I only had 5 hours left today. So I used up my whole 5 hours, got it as far as I could, and I dropped it in White City. Dropped the load there. Then now I'm at the truck stop. So basically got to wait till tomorrow so I can start driving again, because I'm out of hours. I got about 15 minutes left on my 70, and just waiting for tomorrow. So I'm gonna get 8 hours back tomorrow for my recaps. But yeah, guys, been running super hard. All my hours are used up now, so we're going on recaps now. But let's talk about this last month and just the whole last month in general. Just what to expect from May Trucking, your first month running solo. I would say definitely your first couple weeks after you solo out from your mentor, that's going to be the hardest time. It's going to be the biggest learning curve. At least it was for me. It's going to be a big shock. Basically, once you solo out from your mentor for May Trucking, or even for any company, not just May Trucking, but May Trucking in specific, once you solo out, it's basically sink or swim at that time. You know, you're either going to figure it out real fast, or, you know, you're not going to get it and you're going to have to try to find a different company. You know, yeah, luckily for me, you know, I definitely had my challenges when I soloed out. You know, if you go back to my first video I posted, or not the first video, but the first video after I soloed out, I made a video. And yeah, that day I got, you know, and that's when I got in the accident. It wasn't a bad accident, but it was, you know, I was turning, I got off route coming out of a fuel stop, and I took out the tail light on a black Toyota Tundra. That was the first day I soloed out. You know, that happened to me 1 month ago. And you know, stuff like that is gonna happen. You know, it pays, it really pays off to listen to your mentor. Like, honestly, I should have, you know, I had a really good mentor. Lana was my mentor. She was a very good mentor. But you know, your mentor is not going to make you perfect. You know, you only have a limited amount of time before you're on your own and you're driving solo. So use your mentor time when you're with your mentor, and really take advantage of that and try to learn as much as you possibly can, because, you know, you're going to be on your own very soon after you're with your mentor. You only have a limited amount of time to learn what you need to learn, and then you're driving solo. And then once you're driving solo, you know, when you're turning and you're you know, about to hit something, you're not going to have your mentor saying, stop the car, stop the truck. You know, you're going to hit it and you're going to take it out, because it's on you. You know, you have no one watching you. It's all up to you at that point. So that's the biggest advice I would give you guys, is just really really pay attention to your mentor and just be a sponge and just soak up the information that they tell you, because they're there to help you. You know, for Made Trucking, usually they only have about 2 to 3 weeks with your mentor before you solo out. I was brand new and I literally have never driven a semi truck in my life before, you know, getting my CDL, so I asked for 4 weeks. Luckily I had Lana for 4 weeks, but still, you know, I've made my mistakes. You know, my first day I did, you know, take out that tail light from the Tundra, and then you know, I did have that minor. Looking back on it too, just so that you guys know, it pays to have a couple $100 in your pocket, or maybe even like $300 or $400 in your pocket, just in case you have a very minor accident. Like, looking back on it, the minor accident that I had after I tapped or took out the tail light on the Tundra, it was literally a scratch that big on, you know, a Subaru. You know, I would recommend, if something like that happens, just pay the guy off. Just pay the guy off. Say, hey buddy, here's $200-300. You know, this is gonna cover the damage, you know, for that little tiny scratch, and you know, just be on your way. It's not a huge deal when it's a minor accident like that, but still, you know, it's gonna go on my DAC report. And I've done a lot of information on that and looked up a lot of information about that. For 90% of companies, it's not going to be a huge deal because it was very minor and the police were not involved. But still, it is on there, and the companies do know about it. So they're going to ask you, hey, what happened when, you know, I see a little tiny minor, you know, incident that happened. You know, you're going to have to explain that to your next company. So you want to try to avoid situations like that as much as possible. If possible, try not to hit it. I mean, your goal should always be try not to hit anything, and try not to violate your hours of service, and try not to just try to do everything perfect. You know, you're going to be making mistakes. You're a rookie. You know, I was a rookie. You know, I mean, I'm still a rookie. I got 1 month of solo experience. I would say by leaps and bounds, I'm 100%, you know, more confident driving today than I was a month ago. But you know, there's a learning curve, and you're going to be making mistakes after you solo out. So just try to do your best. You know, try not to hit anything. Try not to violate your hours of service. Try to really do your homework, and that's going to give you the best chance of succeeding out here. You know, you have a positive attitude and just try your best. You know, that's all you can do is do your best. But yeah, guys, I'd say first month with Made Trucking has gone really good. You know, you're gonna make decent money when you're with your trainer. You know, you get $100 a day. You know, as of now, which is you know, April 2019, $100 a day with your trainer. So you get $700 a week with your trainer. Then once you sell out, you get $115 a day plus any, you know, miles that are covered. Basically 42 cents per mile, you know, if you're running hard like you're supposed to and getting 10,000 miles, over 10,000 miles a month, which you should be getting unless you're going home, you know, every couple weeks. But yeah, guys, just, you know, just do your best, and you know, 1 month driving solo, that's the biggest thing I would say. You know, it's just really listen to your mentor, you know, because you're going to be on your own. Once you're on your own, you know, you're not going to have your mentor telling you what not to do. So that's the biggest thing, is just, you know, be a sponge and learn while you still have that person that's in the truck with you teaching you, you know, what you need to learn. And it's gonna be hard, you know, your first couple of weeks. It was hard for me. I was really nervous at first, you know, like didn't remember, you know, how to really slide my tandems, you know, or I thought, you know, I didn't really have to look on the satellite view on Google Maps when I went into shippers and receivers, you know. So I learned the hard way, guys, that it pays to do your homework. It pays to do your homework before you go into those especially tight places. The other day, or not the other day, probably about 2 weeks ago, when I was, you know, still in the learning phase, you know, I had a real couple tight areas that I had to unload in, you know. And I had to do some real tough blindside, So alley dock, you know, you have your window you can look out of, but I've had to do, you know, you're going to be having blindside alley docks to do, basically from the other direction where you can't see crap, to be blunt about it. So you're going to have to literally get out of the truck 10 times, you know, to make sure you don't take anything out, you know, because blindsides, you know, you think alley docks are tough. Wait until you have to do a blindside into a dock, you know. Those are difficult. Those are really, I've had to do probably about 3 or 4 of those already just in my first month here driving solo. So you're going to be thrown into situations. Do your homework, and you know, you got to learn how to handle those situations. You know, it's better to be having cars waiting on you, honking at you. Just put your hazards on. Put your hazard lights on and just make them wait, you know. Don't do anything stupid and back up and do like Subaru, or don't let them pressure you to do something stupid that's going to make you make a mistake. Just take your time, put your hazards on, make sure you put your hazard lights on when you're in a situation when you're trying to think, you know, should I turn into this street or is the next street? Put your hazard lights on. That way people know, you know, to pass you when you're going super slow and you're trying to figure that out. Those are some big tips, you know. Try not to overspeed, you know, just do what you need to do, you know. You know, and you'll be great. After about 2 weeks driving solo, it gets easier, you know. Now, you know, it's starting to get easier after I've been out here a month driving solo, you know. I still run into situations, you know, that I think to myself, you know, oh, what should I do, you know, but I can usually figure it out a lot quicker than I could a month ago. Once you get a month experience running the solo, it's definitely getting a lot easier from here. So it gets a lot easier, you start feeling a lot more comfortable, and you're going to be a better driver. You're going to be a better driver the more experience you get, you know. That's why most companies say, you know, they want at least 3, you know, at least 6 months experience. Some companies say 3 months experience, but it's because, you know, you literally have to learn a lot of little things out here. And, you know, I've learned a lot of them already. You know, I have 1 month experience driving solo, but, you know, there's still a lot more that I need to learn still, you know. But yeah, it's been going good. After this month, you know, I got some Taco Bell here. I'm at a pilot right now. Pretty much just sitting until tomorrow. Told my driver manager I need another pre-plan tomorrow morning. So my driver manager has been awesome. He's been giving me pre-plan after pre-plan after pre-plan. I haven't been sitting hardly at all. I've been running so incredibly hard this last couple. I thought I was actually going to run out of hours yesterday. Luckily there wasn't traffic, so I still had 5 hours left to pick up a load and repowered as far as I could before they had me drop it. Now I'm at the pilot now. But basically, you know, I'm out of hours. I used up pretty much my whole 70, waiting for tomorrow so I can keep rolling on recaps. That's how you make money out here, you guys. You got to roll on recaps. You know, don't be taking 34-hour resets unless you have to. You know, after your 70's used up, go back on your 8-day log tab on your Qualcomm and look at your 8th day prior. That's going to tell you how many hours you have available to drive the next day. So go on there. You know, I have strong recaps coming back. It's like 8, 9, 10 hours plus the next, you know, 3 days. So just keep rolling on recaps. If you want to be making, you know, the big money, I hate to say it, but the way to make big money out here is to stay out for long periods of time. You know, you got to be staying out for at least 1 month, 2 months, you know. I would say after 2 months, you know, you could come home. But if you want to be making, you know, the top money, you know, I mean, you'll still be making decent money if you come home every 2 weeks, but you're not going to be making, you know, $60,000 a year if you go home every 2 weeks. You know, if you want to be making, I mean, you'll probably be making maybe 40, 45, maybe 50,000. But if you want to be up in the $60,000 range, you know, your first year, you got to be running hard. Don't stay on recaps. Stay on recaps for a month at a time. You know, don't take a 34-hour reset. Have strong, consistent recaps and just keep running on those. That's how you're going to make your money. I've been talking to a lot of the experienced drivers, and they're telling me the same thing. Keep running on recaps. Don't go home unless, you know, you have to. That's my plan. You know, I'm not going to go home now for another 3 weeks. I'm going to go. This is kind of getting into some of my plans. I have some plans. Smooth the Trucker is going to be making some changes come this summertime, but I'll keep that on the down low for right now. I'll tell you guys about that on a different video. But yeah, for right now, keep running recaps, keep running strong, and you're going to make your money. You run hard, you get, you know, over 3,000 miles a week, which they will give you once that you prove to them that you are consistent and then you run hard. They're going to give you, you know, 3,000. They've been giving me that consistently. I've been running over 3,000 miles a week very, very consistently. You know, I probably have 3,600 miles this week. So they'll give that to you if you run hard. Your driver manager will recognize that, you know, you drive hard and you want to make money, and they're going to give you the loads that you need to get. But basically, it's already 15 minutes in, so I'm going to wrap it up. But that's basically it, you guys. 1 month review at Made Trucking, running solo. This is what to expect. Smooth the Trucker, out for now.